Hi, Abhay. Good evening. Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm audible. Okay. Yeah. Are you practicing? Or like you just listening the class and just thinking of, okay, I got it. Or else you started working on it. So you got any doubts from the previous sessions, Abhay? Yes, but my last topic I have missed that was not practiced last class. Okay. No need to worry. Okay. You'll get the recordings. Have you received the recordings actually? Should we confirm so that I can check with the team again? No? Okay, give me a second. I'll ask them once. Yeah, I just dropped a text in for them actually. Once I get an update, I'll let you know. Yeah, hi Shivam, how are you doing? Yeah, let's wait more 5 to 10 minutes, let other people join. In the meantime, if you got any queries, you can ask me. Okay, take 3 or 5 minutes of for summary of previous class if possible. Okay, Abhay. Yeah, in the meantime, let other until other people join, I'll give you the summary. So last day, what are the topics we discussed? Dictionary override, filters, breadcrumbs, views, right? Or any other topics we discussed last day? Yeah, assignment lookup rules, priority lookup rules, related lists. Those were the beginning day. Okay, fine. I'll show you my screen and give you a quick review. Share, share screen, entire screen, share. Yeah, cancel. Right. Yeah. Is my screen visible, guys? Abhay, can you see my screen? Shit. Yes. Okay. Fine. Fantastic. Yeah. So for a quick review, what is our table? Test cohort, right? Test cohort is our table. Vendor. This was an extended table from cohort. So you observe here, guys. So nothing but what is the topic? Yeah. Dictionary override. Dictionary override is nothing but like if we do any changes in the parent table or in child table, like when we inherited some fields from the table, what happens is like they'll get all the configurations of the table. So When we do any field mandatory, read only, or visible, or anything that affects in the parent table too, to avoid that, what we use, like, dictionary override. Dictionary overrides, like, helps us to block the difference, like, what we are changing here will be blocked. So that is dictionary order, like, now we see, like, here the name field is mandatory, but whereas the name field is mandatory here, you see state field is mandatory here, but coming to the test cohort it is not mandatory. To avoid these kind of changes, we use the concept dictionary override. So to block the configuration changes, we use dictionary override. Okay, fine. Filters, and the other topic we discussed is also filters. Let's go to the incident table. Incident. Shit. Incident. So you can see here, this is incident table. This funnel icon is used to write the filters mainly. Okay, we can give a condition here, clicking on the funnel icon. You can see first one is, like, on which field you want to write the filter, what is the operator you want to do, and the condition. Okay, that's it. So if you give anything here, like, priority. So priority is critical. So, and if you click on run, what happens is, like, it filters. Filter is nothing but, like, reducing the records in a list view based upon a condition. That is the function of filter. In four different ways we can apply filter: by clicking on the funnel icon, by giving the conditions. If you click on run, the filter runs. Otherwise, selecting the, like, the column here and giving the condition, it it uh it starts, like, filtering. Otherwise, you can also click, right click on this and click show matching. Here also we can apply filter conditions here. And if you click on this global search, all search navigation, if you click here, and you can also give the condition from here. In four different ways you can give a filter condition. And what you are seeing here is called breadcrumb. Okay, after what we applied in the filter conditions, what you see under this is breadcrumb. Okay, let's see how many people have joined. 4 people. Let's wait a couple more minutes. So what I said, like, we'll discuss roles, right? Roles has been discussed, so we're going to discuss ACLs today. ACLs. ACL is nothing but access control list. Okay, access control list. So restart with recap. Yeah, you're late, Rohit. Actually, I just recapped with the when I started. It's almost like 10 minutes late. Nothing to be worried. I'll recap. If you got any queries, you can ask me now. I'll again recap in the, as we going in the flow. I'll recap back again what the topics we discussed. So as already been, roles were being already discussed. So can anyone give me what is a role? So because in the ACLs, what we deal is, like, completely role based. So can anyone give me a definition for role? What is a role? Give me a general definition or whatever you feel like. You just feel free to uh, mention that in the chat. So, what is a role? Access controls for users. Anything else? Role is access assigned to a user. Okay. So four more people are in the session. I need at least some answer from you guys as well. So you're almost right. Role is access assigned to a user. So what exactly a role is like? Role is a set of permission given to a user to restrict what he can see. So it is set of permission given to a user to restrict the data. Okay. So already you all know like how to create a role. Yes. So was a backend name of the role table? So can anyone? What is the backend name of the role table? Sys underscore user underscore role. Yeah, that's perfect. Fantastic, Abhay. Right, you're following me. So now let's go with. Do you know when a table is created? What are the mandatory fields that are created with the table? What are the system generated fields created with table? You know that, right? You all know that. Yes. How many fields are created? 5. Can anyone tell what are those? 5, 6. Actually, 6 is the right answer. Configure table. So what are the 6 fields that are created? You see here updated by updated, updated, created, created by, and sysID. These are the 6 fields created in like these are the out of box fields. When a table is created, these 6 fields are created mandatorily. So without, if these 6 fields are not created, that means the table is not created properly. And in the same way, when a table is created, automatically when a table is created, 4 roles are also been created, 4 ACLs. Okay, you see 4 ACLs are also created. So one is for delete, read, write, create. Okay, let's go with ACL. You see there, what is ACL in ServiceNow and access control list? ACL is a powerful security feature that defines the permission for accessing data and functionalities with the platform. ACLs controls what data users can see and what actions they can perform based on their roles. They are essential for ensuring data security and compliance. By restricting access to sensitive information, it is not like every user can create a ACL rules. User must have security admin role to create ACL. So here, see here, this is the definition. Access control. An access control is a security rule defined to restrict the permissions of a user from viewing and interacting with the data. So what ACL exactly do is like viewing and interacting with the data, but whereas role completely blocks to do nothing. Okay, if he has particular certain kind of role, then he can see. If you don't have the role, he can't see. But even though you have some role and still you want to restrict some data, then the thing comes ACL. So access control rule restricts service specifications and CRUD operations. In general, you all know like what are CRUD options? Operations, they are used to create, read, update, delete. Like whereas outside the market. In our thing, we use in the update, we instead of update we go with write. So you have to remember this simple question. Actually, it is a like mandatory question. So when a table is created, 6 fields are automatically created and 4 ACLs are also created. So did in the day one, or did he explain roles with an example, or he just explained what is role? That's it. Did he showed what how we can restrict the tables using roles? Is that been explained in the day one or day two? If you give me a clarity so that I can go ahead explaining it in detail, the role as well. Because if you understand the role only, you can go with ACLs. Yes. So did you check how role works? Yes, yes, Shivam Gupta. So you understand what is roles, right? How we can restrict the roles by giving the roles to the table and impersonation, and he looked what exactly he can do, right? All right, that's fine, no need to worry. So here you see, so in general, these are the 4 ACLs that are being created when a table is created. You keep this point. When a table is created, six fields are automatically created and 4 ACLs as well. Okay, this is a mandatory thing you have to keep in your brain. Yeah. Now what we do is, so let's create a user show form. Sys underscore users user dot s. So I'm explaining your role like impersonating as well. So let me create a user first. Let's create a new user. So can you suggest me? I'll go with Shivam Gupta. Okay, I'll create a record on the name of Shivam Gupta. Shivam ID Shivam Gupta. Shivam space Gupta. First name Shivam. Last name is Gupta. Yeah, that is fine. So I'm saving this record. Save. Let's. So now let's impersonate and check whether Shivam Gupta can see our test cohort table. This is our test cohort table, innit? And we also have record. So let's check whether Shivam Gupta can see this record. So let's, what we do is like impersonate user. What is the name? Shivam Gupta. Yes. So we are impersonating Shivam Gupta whether he can see our table test cohort or not, because the table was not given any role. And but you also know, like, when a table is created, I missed one more thing. When a table is created, 6 mandatory fields are created, like, 6 fields are created, 4 ACLs are created. Along with that, one role is also created. I should show you. Let's end impersonation. I will show you. Shit. Sorry guys, give me a second. I just got a call from the company. Yeah, that's fine. So you just see here, this is our table, right? I'm accessing table from here. Go to table view. So these are the 6 fields automatically created when a table is created, and these are the 4 ACLs that are created automatically. And you can see here, going to the controls, you can see a role is also created. So 3 things that happens when a table is created mandatory, like this happens like in general. Whenever a table is created, this will definitely happen. So keep this in mind. 1 role is created, 6 fields are created, and 4 ACLs are created. Okay, so now we'll just impersonate and check whether we haven't gave any role to Shivam, right? Shivam Gupta, we haven't gave any role. Impersonate user, and let's check whether he can see this, see the cohort table or not, test cohort table or not. Test cohort. You see guys, in the search we can't we can't see the test cohort as well. Test cohort. So what is the backend name? So you see, security constraints prevent access to requested page. This is the page what we are viewing. So it is blocking. That means he don't have the right access to view this page. So now let's end impersonate, and let's give Shivam Gupta the role of the table. Roles. Click on edit here. Come down in the bottom, you can see roles table. So what is the role that is created? U underscore test cohort, right? Test cohort user. This is the role that is created with the table. We just reload this. So now we are in admin. So we can reload this. When we are in Shivam Gupta, we can't do. So the role is U underscore test cohort underscore user. So we are giving this role to the user Shivam Gupta, and check what happens. So he was assigned with a role, and let's save this. So now we assign the role U underscore test cohort to the Shivam Gupta. Before we haven't gave any role to Shivam Gupta. So when we impersonated, we can't see the table test cohort. So now we assign the role test cohort to Shivam Gupta. So let's observe what is happening. Impersonate user, test Shivam Gupta, impersonate user, and you see here, this is what the table, right? So let's reload this, whether he's getting the access or not. Update, no, not to worry about this. So let's type here in this itself. So let's check by typing test. You see here, we are into Shivam Gupta, and we all know right now how we can confirm whether we are in some other user. Just you can see an eye icon when we do impersonation. You can see an eye icon and a red line on top of the banner. Okay, this is how we can confirm we are impersonating some user. So you can clearly see here test cohort was being inherited. So you can open, you see these are the list of records, and you see now click on new, you see this is the table view. So by giving a role, we just give the permission for all our old table. Yeah, that is how a role performs. Okay. So now what we do, let's go back. Let's end impersonation and let's go to the table ACL. Come on. So you all got how a role functions, right? So you can, is my voice clear? Yes, that's fine. So that is how a role functions. Like, to give access to any table, whatever it is. You see now for the Shivam Gupta, we only gave one role. So now we also add one more role. Let's give ITL. ITIL admin ITIL. So when we give more roles, what happens is like, what are the restricted applications, what are the restriction modules, what are the restricted tables in the table depending upon the role will be given access to him so that he can access everything. In that as well, some ACLs are being created. So what is the main function of ACL is like, it helps in performing CRUD operations like create, read, write, delete. These are the operations can be performed using ACLs. Like, even though you have the table access, what happens is like, if you have only the read access, then you can only see what is the information in the table. And if you are given with write access, so then give me a second. Sorry. Sorry guys, I'm back. So that is how the restriction of roles happens. So edit member. So we just gave him like, so if we save this and you can check here, assigning role SN this. So you can go back, update, not update service now here. And let's check impersonating. So we give two more roles that are custom roles. So what are the system generated roles are custom roles. Okay. What we create a role that is like, sorry, those are out of the box roles, and what we create is a custom role. So now you can check Shivam Gupta will have more access. That is the that is how a user will get access. Now before there is only he used to have self service and our table cohort, test cohort. Now he is given access with many things: self service, visual dashboards, and app engine, availability, benchmarks. So these are the roles, these are the modules or applications that are assigned with the ITL roles and other roles. That is how we can perform, like that is the use of roles. So let's end impersonate. So let's go to the ACLs. AC. Yeah. So observe the screen, guys. You can see the list view of ACLs. There are 2,937 ACLs. These are the out of the box ACLs created by ServiceNow. So observe the screen clearly. Uh, do you observe anything when you open in the list view? So comparatively, like, do you observe anything? It is same the list view compared to other tables and the same in the ACL table as well. Can anyone see any difference? S- So let's open this table as well, show list view. So this is our list view of test cohort table, and you see here this is the list view of ACL table. Do you guys observe any difference here? This is our custom table. So this is system generated table. Do you guys observe any difference here? Different number of columns, more fields in sys generated table. Yeah, just observe clearly. So you leave about the columns, like, yeah, more different number of fields, columns. Yeah, perfectly right. So any other difference you observe? Operation specifications. Operation. What kind of operation, Abhishek or Bay? Crud, crud. Operation. Yeah, not like that. Like, just follow me, okay? That is not like operations. Just clearly see in our custom table, wherever you see a new button here. You guys, do you observe this? There you can see a new button here. Whereas coming to ACL, do you guys can see new button here? So let's go to another table and check. So let's go to incident list view, okay? Incident. Let's open incident list view. So observe this as well. Here you can see a new button, and for our normal custom table as well, you can see a new button. Here, do you see any new button here? No. Why? So, okay, I'll explain you, Karthik. No need to worry. So, do you have any idea? Do you have any idea? Nope. Yeah, we just discussed a role. We just discussed, like, couple of minutes back, roles. So, ACL is the highest privilege table. Okay. So if we do any operations, like, even system administrator, even though he is having a system administration role, he was not getting that highest privilege. The highest privilege role in the service now is security role. So when you see here, when explaining roles, did he explain what is elevate role? Do you guys remember? Got it? Did you observe elevate roles before? No, no need to worry. So when we creating a role, so I can explain you that. So let's go to sys underscore user underscore table. underscore role dot list. So this is our roles table. So how we create a role is like, we'll go to the sys underscore roles underscore table and click on new. So here you can see a button. You here see elevated privilege. If any role is created and the checkbox is checked, that means that role is having more privilege. Okay, in such a way a role is created for our same thing. So normally if you want to create any role, we give the role and we give some description and we'll submit. So the role is created and then we'll take the role to a some table and we'll give there. And then if you create any ACLs or something, then how it performs. But if you check this checkbox, that means it is having the highest privilege. If you are giving the same role and if you are not elevated, so he's not getting the access. That is how happened in the the security thing. So to get the new button, he have to first thing he have to do is click on elevate role, and you see here security admin. This is a role created with elevate role option enabled. So if you don't check this checkbox, then you can't see the ACLs new button. So you can't create a new thing. You can't create a new record in the ACL table. So for that reason, we had to elevate our thing. Just click on here, click the checkbox and update. And now you observe in the ACLs table and reload it. Now you can clearly see the new button. So when you elevated with that role, when you check that box only, you can see this button. Sorry guys, 1 second. Yeah, sorry guys. So observe here. So once we enabled this role, elevated role, you can clearly see a arrow facing upwards. So if he is checked with the security admin role, the security admin role will have the highest privilege. Okay, even though you are system admin and if you don't have the security admin role, you can't create ACLs. So ACLs will restrict the most of the information of the data. So whether he can see, he can write, he can update, or he can delete some information. If it depends on the ACLs, how the user is getting the permission. Sometimes what happens is in an organization, what happens, there will be like something will be posted every time. So people will have access to write. Sometimes what I'll give you a general example. In our Instagram or whatever Facebook, we will have an option called comments. If you are the admin, you can block it. If you're not the admin, you can't block. So people can see. Then what is depends on the privacy, who can see, who can't see, what they can do, what they not can do. That is how ACLs, like in general terminology. So it is called privacy. So if a user is given the table access and he only given with read access, then what happens is what is the information in the table, then he can only see that. He can't even go to the form view. He can only go with list view. If the user is having the right access, read access and write access as well, he can go with that. So I can show you with an example, what was the example mentioned here. Yes, these are the four, as I said, the four ACLs are created. These are like mandatory things. Access control definition, permissions required. So user holographics. So this is not the one. Table dot. Yeah. So if I explain this, you'll get confused again. So that is how ACLs work. You see now. Now for the test cohort role. So let's create one role. for read access. So so basically the ACLs performs, there are like operations in like access control specifies there are like three different things. The roles can be specified in like there is like table dot none, table dot star, table dot field level. Like table dot none in the sense the old table access is called table dot none. If we want to give the all access to the user who is viewing or who want to do something, then we will give the access table dot none. You see here, table dot none. This give the all access to the table. So if so this is done, ACL table. So let's create an ACL now. We don't need this, don't need this as well. Incident, we don't need this. So okay, fine. So this is the form view of an ACL. So when we click on new, what we got here is like here is this is the form view of an ACL. Okay, so let's, you see, you observe here ACLs, how on which type of records you can perform. So you can perform on client cables. You observe, just I'll go back. So you all guys can see my screen, right? Yes. Okay, fine. So you observe here. So when we, this is the list view of ACL table. This is a list view of ACL table. So we are going to create an ACL and check how it works. So if you click on new, so when you click on new button, what happens? We'll see the form view of an ACL. This is the form view of an ACL, how we create an ACL. So ACLs on types of ACL, like on which type we can call, like ACLs are can be performed on these many types of things, on UI pages, UI data brokers, UX pages, UX route, and client cable flow objects. So basically we deal with records. So what we want to do actually to restrict the permission of the table and their data, that's it, right? So for that reason, maximum of the times, so we are not going in deeply for this what exactly UX page and etc things. These are like in maybe architects or anything, these are just created because they want to build something futuristic, so they all enabled this, included all these things. But most of the time we deal with records, the information in the tables. Okay, types are of this many types, and how many types we can, if any question comes with like how many types we can create ACLs, these many types, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So this was not asked anywhere as well. So maximum we deal with record type. Every time we only deal with record type. And in ACLs, I said, as I said you, we deal with four type of operations: read, create, read, write, delete. Maximum we deal with these operations, like if we want to insert any record in the table, then he should have the access for create. If he have any access to create, then he will get the new button. If he has no, like if you don't have the role, ACL thing, he won't get this create option. So create, and here you observe read. These are the four operations we maximum perform. So even though there is like some other operations as well, this is how ACLs operates in these many ways, like execution level, query match level, query range level. When you see on clicking filters, we'll give some queries like that, things will get the query and breadcrumbs. So these all comes under queries. So you see, I'll show you here. Incident. So this is filter here, right? I just give some condition active is true and run. So what you see is it is it is called breadcrumb, and it is also called query, copy query. So this is a query. So in this level also, so I'm being a system administrator and I'm C, and if I create an ACL giving a some role, and if I give this to the same table, then what happens is now he can't do any query operations here. This in this way also we can prevent ACLs in list view. Okay, so in the form level we can restrict, in the list view we can restrict, and in the field level as well. So here is ACL table. So how many operations are there in ACL? Like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. But basically in general, what ACL deals with is like, CRUD operations: create, read, write, update. But whereas you like, sorry, not update, delete. Whereas in general, we like, what are the CRUD operations? Create, read, update, delete. But coming to our service now, the CRUD operations are create, read, write, and delete. Okay, keep this in mind. So create, read, write, delete. These are our ACLs. Okay, and decision types. W- so whether if we having the right permission, this permission, what to happen? Whether he should get or he should not get. Allow, if you have this right permissions, you can allow the table. If you have this permission, you should not allow. Deny you unless. So this is how it overrides. And you see a checkbox here, admin overrides. So what happens is like, if you check this box, if you are in admin thing, if you are like, if you are user, if you in a company, what happens is like, ACLs are created and this checkbox is not checked. What happens is like, even our admin can't even do anything if the permissions, if he is not having the right role. Like example, security admin role. You see, even though he's admin, he's not having the security admin role. He can't do any changes, he can't even get a form view. So that is the power of this admin override thing. Okay, you created something, as some ACLs are created and he's given, and if this checkbox is created, checked, that means even though he is not having that role, admin can do some changes. Okay, and this is this name in the sense on which table you want to write ACLs. So basically ACLs, what are the roles, what are the gives, restricts the information of data where the data is stored in the tables, right? On which table you want to perform this. So we will select here what are the tables we want to perform. So this is a mandatory field. So here we'll give the table name. Just reload it once. It's taking time. So you see these are all tables. So let's check. Come on. Yeah, these are all the tables. So what are the tables here? What are the tables in the service now can be displayed here. We can select the table, and you see here operation fields. So table dot none, table dot star. And if you select any table, you can see the fields as well here. So ACLs are done on three things: table level, field level, and star means on all the fields. We can do thing on one single field, and we can do restrictions on all fields. If we select a single field, like example, I am selecting our table. This is u underscore test cohort, right? Our table. So you see select here. When I am selecting a table, what happens is, you observe now, you see only table dot none, table dot star. So if I click on here, and if I select a table, u underscore, let's select our table cohort, sorry, it's test cohort. I'm selecting our table. Okay, now you see these are the fields in our table will automatically. So how ACLs performs is like, on depending on old table, this none is nothing but on all table. When coming to star, on all the fields, if we apply this star, what happens is like it restrict all the fields in field information. And if you want to hide the information of a single field, so if you can perform field and ACLs can be performed on table level, fields level, and on a single field. Okay, when you select a table, you can see these are name, group, gender, created by class, etc, etc. You see all the things. So that is how ACLs perform. And what are the description you want to give, like why this ACL is created. This ACL is created to whatever, like wherever you do some operations, try to give the description as well, because like in the real time we deal with like bulks of information. So if someone is accessing the information, he had to know for what purpose this is created. So all the time make sure give this description or short description whatever in this when creating a table. Okay, and you can also apply filters here. So you see what it is. If name is sorry, state is UP, then only UP, who where state is UP, that are only visible on if we selected with UP. On depend on condition also we can write ACL. We can give an ACL read access and we can give a condition, then depends on the condition only the person who is having this role will be given. And here now coming to conditions. Okay, when ACL is created, mandatorily what we have to do, we have to give some particular role. If we are not giving any role, means the ACL is not accepted. Now you see I'm just creating table dot let's select record and read access, and I'm creating table test cohort dot none. I'm selecting table dot none, and I'm not giving any condition, and I'm not selecting any role. Okay, see here I'm not selecting any role, and I'm not giving any data condition too. So I'm trying to save it. What it is saying, an empty or invalid allow if ACL will completed in a access to this resource. To properly secure it, select a role, security attributes or configuration related records to allow access to it conditionally. Yeah, so if we are not giving any role, that means the ACL is not selected. Okay, so I am selecting a role for this now. So I'm creating an ACL on the record for read access. I'm giving a read access. So I'm creating read and I'm inserting a role. You can create a role here. So I'm searching for a role. Let's search for a role. Otherwise, let's create a new role as well. So nothing, we create a role, test role, test. I'm creating a new role, test role, sorry, test role. Okay, this role is created for testing ACL in cohort, in UP cohort. Okay, I'm submitting it. I'm selecting save. Yeah, and you can also add more roles as well, whoever want, like if I give admin or if I give anything. So this is done and I'm saving it now. Okay, so we are writing on read level. So I'll clearly explain what is read level, what is write level, and what is update, sorry, create, what is create level, what is read level, what is update level. Delete is in the sense like deleting the row or what deleting the records. That is it. Okay, so I'm saving this now. Save. Yeah, you see row level u underscore test cohort is added. Sorry, read. Hello, continue. So an ACL is created now for read access. Okay, so what is read level? So you observe guys here, what is read level? you can clearly see the list view. Okay, this is read level access. If any user can see this things records in the table, that means he is having read access. So if we can see the create new button, if any user can see the new button, that means he is having create access for that table as well. Okay, you observe guys, if any user is seeing any in the list view, that means that user is having read access for that table. And if the user can see the new button, you observe here new button, that means the user is having create as well, create ACL as well, he can create. And when you select a record, I'm selecting this record. Okay, I'm selecting this record, and now here you see I can add some information too. Now here is channel phone, so I change the channel to chat, and I'm saving it. So what happened, it saved, the record is saved. I can do some changes on the existing record. So that means I have the right access for the table. So what is read access, what is create access, what is write access, you just come to know. And you can you see delete. Delete means deleting the record. So this is delete access. Oh shit. So now you clearly came to know what is read, write, create and delete. Yeah, are you guys following me? So, sir, basically an ACL is an additional security of restriction overrule with CRUD operations. Yeah, that is right actually. So this is how, even though you are given with a table permission, okay, but you still want to restrict the table, then we go with ACLs. So you want to admin override. Admin override is nothing but like, think Karthik, sorry, Abhay, what happened is like, we gave a role to the table. Okay, we create an ACL, we created an ACL, but if we haven't checked that role, now we created a role like, I show you what is the, so we created a ACL now here. We created one ACL here. So we gave a role with test role. We are giving for this read access to this table, giving with a test role. If I haven't checked this admin override, so whoever having this test role can perform on the changes. Even admin can't even do any changes in the table. If you click admin override, that means the admin can do changes. So like, so you're having you're in a house of 4 people. Okay, you're having a house with 4 rooms. Okay, one is kitchen, one is bedroom, one is hall, and one is the main entrance. Okay, like the main entrance is like, table dot none. I'll explain you. The main entrance is like table dot none. If you don't have the main entrance keys, you can't get into the home, right? That is table dot none. Yeah. So admin override means the admin will have a duplicate key. So that is your house. Sorry, you are renting a house, and the owner is having one key, and you are having a one key. If the admin override is checked, that means the owner is having one key. And if the admin is not checked, the owner is not having the key. Only you will have the access to that property. Like taking a house as an example. So you came to rent in house. Okay, in that house what happens is like, the owner gave you a key and he is having a duplicate key. The admin override is if it is checked means the owner is having a duplicate key. So he will have access to that as well. If it is not checked, that means he is not having any access to the house. Now you got this, Abhay? So admin override checkbox is nothing but the admin is having some permissions, even though it is your thing, you are given with some other role and you're having the lock, the admin can do perform any changes on the table. Yeah, that is admin override. So as you said, Karthik, yeah, that is what we do. Okay, giving, like, giving a role, we can restrict whether he can come into in the house or not. Okay, so that is we do with role. So coming into the house and whether he can go into bedroom and whether he can see some things in the house, whether he can do some operations in the house, that is depends on the ACLs. If you are giving with a role, that means, like, you're having access to see my house. Okay, when if any, if not any ACL is not created, that means he will have all the operations, he will have all the permissions. But if ACLs are created, that means his permissions will also get restricted. Okay, that are the powers having ACLs. By using ACLs, we can do CRUD operations like create, read, update, write and delete. So you exactly come what is create, what is update, sorry, what is write, what is read. You come to know what is read, what is write, what is create. So if you are able to see what are in the table, that means he is having read access. Okay, this is called read. If he can see new button, if he can create new records, that means he is having create access. And if you can do any changes in the existing record, that means he is also having write access. Yeah, you understand, guys, what is read, what is create, what is up write. And delete means nothing but, like, you can delete, like selecting records and you will have some operations, delete. If the delete button is visible, that means he is having the access to delete too. So if you don't understand what is read, what is write and what is uh, uh, create and delete, you can't understand ACL. So I'm asking you guys, you you came with this, what exactly, what is read, what is write, what is create and what is delete, so that I can go deeply into ACL. So ACL is one of the most important topic, guys. That's the reason I'm taking more time here. Yes. Yes, that is fantastic. So we just created an ACL for read. So who is having this test role? That means the person can go into the house. Just he can see the house. Okay. So we'll go to Shivam. So before Shivam is given with these many roles, now what I'm doing is, okay, I'm selecting ting ting and I'm taking all the access. Okay. And I'm saving it. Okay, now I removed all the roles to the Shivam. Now Shivam is having no roles. Let's check whether he can. So if you see this upwards arrow, some in the CSA some question will come. How can you say that whether whether the user is having any elevated role? If any user is having any elevated role activated, then he can see the upwards arrow icon on the user profile. Okay, keep this in mind. So we'll impersonate our Shivam. Impersonate user Shivam. Impersonate. So we are into Shivam. So when we impersonate, you can clearly see a eye icon and a red line on top of the banner. Okay, so let's check whether he can see our test cohort. Let's type test. See, he's having any test cohort role. So why? Because we can't get the access for that application module and table, because he is not given the, because when we are creating test cohort role, a role is test cohort table, a role is created, u underscore test cohort role is created. If any user is having that role, then he can see. If the user is, any user is not having that role, he can't see it. It only admin can see that module.
Okay. So now Shivam is not having any role. So let's end impersonation. Okay. We just created a role, right? Test role. And what the permission we created for him? Read table dot none access. That means we are giving complete access of the table to read. You observe here, we are giving on the record level. On the record level, what we are giving read access. So, and we are giving the permission none. None means we are giving all permission. Okay, we are giving full access. Okay, for the read, we are giving full access. Okay, we can restrict in the read level, in field level. For read, we can also restrict field level and column level and table level. We can for the write, we can also restrict for the all table level, column level, and all the fields. In such a way, we can restrict the user. Okay, that is the reason I'm asking you again and again. So consider if you know what is read, write, update, sorry, create. So you have to know with this. For the read level, table dot none means we are giving complete access of the table. Okay. So now we'll give this test role to Shivam. Let's check. So we are giving roles and click on edit. So for all the test role, right? Test. So this is our role, right? Test role. So we are giving Shivam this role and we are saving it. So now Shivam is having one role. Test role Shivam active. For Shivam, there is a one role. And what is the ACL we created? Whoever is having this test role. So he is going to have read access for the table, complete read access for the table. So now we'll impersonate and check what Shivam is getting. Impersonate user, Shivam, impersonate. So we are into Shivam now. Okay, SG, and you can see the eye icon. Okay, now let's check with test. So when we are not giving full access, we have to search with a backend name. What is the backend name? U underscore test cohort dot, we'll go with list view because we haven't gave the right access. So sorry, create access. That means he is not going to get anything. List, enter. Now you see what happened. When we entered, we used to see a new icon. You see new icon. That means if you see new icon, that is means he's having right access. So he can't see the new access, new button here. So he's not having the writing access. So let's go inside. You see all the fields, whatever all the fields are graded. So graded. So do we can do any changes here? These are only read only. These are read only fields. You can't do any changes. So now you understand why if we gave a user with read role only, that means the user can only read. So what we done is we are giving table dot none. That means we are restricting, we want to restrict that user. Even though if he is given with full access, the full role, that means he will get, if we like, I'll show you. Now we just created a role and now he can't see anything. Let's go back. Let's end impersonation. Impersonation. So let's give Shivam the whole role. So what is the role for the table? So whenever the table is created, a role is created automatically, right? So what is the role created for the table? So I want the answer from you guys. If you are responding, then that means it is going fine. Do you remember what is the role given to the test cohort table? I'm asking about the table, not the ACL. Test cohort table. What is the role for the test cohort table? No response. Are you guys following me? Yes, test role. Test role is created for when we are creating ACL. Before that ACL, the table has one role. What is that role? I'm reloading the table. Just see. What is that role? Do any guys, anyone remember the role? So this is our table. Let's click on new. So let's go to the table view, configure table. So controls, you see, this is the role that was automatically created when a table is created. I'm asking about this role. If we give the user this role, firstly we checked giving this role. That means he's getting full access. Yes or no? I want your responses, guys. Yes. So let's check. Now we just checked the user is having, we just gave the Shivam only one role, that is test role, that what we are created for ACL. Okay, we just checked with test role, we just gave the Shivam test role and we checked only he can see, he can read. He's not having the access to create or write. Yeah. So what now what we do is like, we'll give the all table level access. So you underscore test cohort. So we're giving the all access now. Sorry, this is not the role. So we are giving the all access. Let's check what is happening. So I want you to clearly understand. So I'm giving the user the role again. So you see, now we are giving all access of the table. If we give test u underscore test cohort under us, that means the all access of the table is given. So if we want to restrict that, we want to give access of the table, but only read access. So firstly, we checked what happens. We are giving two roles to him. What happens? Let's check. Okay. So I'm impersonating now Shivam again. So I gave him now two roles. One is test role, the ACL, and the other one is all access of the table. Impersonate user. Now you see before we checked you giving the test name. Now let's see test. You see he is getting the all access of the table. I'm clicking now. Yeah. Now he can see new and he can also do some changes. So if you want to create if male male female female, we can he's also doing all the performance access. Yeah. So if we give of the table role, that means if the table role is given, automatically he is giving with the access with read, write, create and delete. If the table role is given, he is directly getting the full access. So to restrict the full access, we'll go with ACLs. Okay. So if we remove the Shivam with this role, so firstly we have to impersonate. So make sure guys, you can't do all the performance if you are seeing different tabs and if you want to perform something, that means that is not possible. You have to come to the admin again, system admin again, and you have to perform. Okay, now I'm taking this role like back. So edit. So I'm taking test cohort role and I'm saving. Yeah. Now Shivam is having one role, test role. See, and now I'm impersonating Shivam again. Shiva, impersonate user. So let's see with test. This is no, not this. Oh, come on. Where is the test cohort table? That is incident. This is test what? Yeah, I'm just reloading this now. You observe, guys. So we are into Shivam now, and I'm reloading this. Yeah, reload changes maybe up. So you see, the user is given with only read access role. Test role means only read access of the table. Yeah. Now he can see only read. He can't do any performance and there is no option to new. So now again what we do is we just end impersonate, and now let's create a write access. Let's create write access for the table now. So we are here, underscore test. So let's update this. So he is getting Shivam. So we don't want the incident anymore. Test cohort. Yeah, we don't want the table view. Let's show in list view. Yeah, this is. So what is this? This is one of the inside table. Let it be. So now we're gonna create one more ACL for write. ACL ACL access control list. So under system security we'll having the ACL role, and if you want to create a new ACL, what we have to do is, like, we have to go to elevate role. We have to click on the profile and there is an option called elevate role, and we have to check this checkbox. Then only we can create a new ACL. Security admin is the highest privilege role to do any operations, like, to do some operations on ACL, he should be elevated with security admin role. Okay, so we'll go to the ACL table. So we just created, this is the table name in the sense this is the table name. On this table we created read access. Okay, and now what we do is we'll do write access as well. We just give write access, yeah, type record level, and now what we do is we'll give write access. Allow, if, yeah, we want to allow if the table is having, we are giving full access for the table. U underscore cohort, test cohort is our table, and we are giving write access for on all the table records. None means all. That means no restriction in the fields, or no restriction in the what in the form level. Okay, see, none. We are giving write access on all the fields for the old table, for all the records, and we are giving the role, the same role. We are giving test role, not test role. We are giving the test role. If the user is having, any user is having test role, he can write. Okay, and I'm saving this. So I'm just submitting this. Okay, I'm submitting this. So write allow, test continue. So what are the ACLs we created? One for read, one for write. So let's give this Shivam. So history, where is Shivam? User plus Shivam. So you see, for one role, test role is he's directly having the test role, and for the same role, we are giving write access. So for the same role, the role is one, we can give many access. Okay, we can take this role, we can give to any other table as well. We give to some other table, and who is having this role can access. Okay, that is how role performs. Okay, if I just created test role for example, sorry, Jewel, not your access controls. So I created this right with some other role. Now I created with the same, for the same role I gave, but I am now changing the role. I don't want this role, so I'm taking out. So I'm taking the role, and instead of test, normally I'm giving test role. It was one of the custom role I was created before. So I'm giving this test role. Okay, and I'm say updating it. Okay, for the, yeah, that was updated, and now here for we are giving only one role. Let's check what happening. Impersonate Shivam Gupta, impersonate user. Okay, we are into Shivam Gupta and we are impersonating. This is user. Okay, we don't want this. Shivam here. Jewel test. You see, so we are impersonated, so we have to reload it. So there is only read access with the test role. Only Shivam is having, you see here, Shivam is having only one role, test role. And that is the test role is having only create read access. So you see, still he is having only read access. We can't see the new button. That means create role is not, he's not having the option to create. And so we go inside the record. So you see, everything is grade. That means he is not having the right access, because for the right we created one more role, test. So let's end impersonate this. Let end impersonate this. And going to Shivam, we are adding one more role. So for the right access we give test role. So I'm just adding the test role here. Test. Come on, where is this test? Yeah, test. Yeah, for right I'm giving test role, and I'm saving it. Okay, now Shivam is given with two roles. One is this test role is having access to read, and this test is having access to write. So let's impersonate. So this is how, what is the importance of impersonation. So every time I can log in, like, whenever I'm trying to log in into my homepage, I'll give my admin and my password. In the same way, in the first user administration, whenever we create a user, we can create the password for him. So we can directly log in from there. The credential gears are given to the person who is, like, coming, and he is given, and he can access that. But to check whether he is performing correctly or not, what are the configurations we are giving to that user are performing correctly or not, to check that, we'll do impersonation. That is the importance of impersonation. Okay, every time we can't give his credentials, and we'll log in him, and we'll check whether he's right, working right or wrong. So instead of going every time like that, we directly impersonation. Okay, this is the importance of impersonate. So what is the purpose of impersonation? So if you guys respond me, then only I feel great. Otherwise, I feel like, So, so what is the purpose of impersonation? I need your answers, guys. So, guys, respond me. I'm audible. Testing roles and permissions. Yes, that is one of the right answer. I only Abe is responding out of 13 people. Like, you are very lucky, guys. You all can interact with me. Like, usually, like, we don't take sessions for these many 13 people or 14 people who are attending. So you're so lucky, this was a program launched by the government, so we are taking this for free of cost, and you are getting a 30,000 voucher. Okay, that is not very simple thing, right? So I want all of you who are attending to answer this. So what is one about testing roles and permissions? Yeah, that is fantastic. Yeah, that is what we do. So yeah, let's forget about that. Okay, so to check whether the right configurations are given to the user or not, we'll check using impersonation instead of logging every time. Okay, that is what the importance of impersonation. Okay, now I'm going to Shivam Gupta, impersonate user. Okay, and now Shivam is having test role, that is read access. Test, it is write access. Okay, he's having two roles. Let's go to our table now. Okay, before he's not having write access, let's reload this. Now you see, if the role is given to write, that means he can do any changes. Okay, male, female. Now, yeah, he can update, he can write. See, he's updated because so this went to some other table.
Yeah, you see, this is female. Yeah, see, you see. So how you can come to know whether the changes are done or not by looking at this icon? We just updated Javel Agastra is female. So we did updated. So this icon is coming. That means this field is updated. If something is updated, you can see this, like like uh, in echo. Do you know this is like in general terminology, this is as doctors see this is echo report. This is like like whenever a person's pulse going up and down, that is called echo report. So when an updation is done, you can see this symbol. Okay, so now if I reload this, so he's getting right access now. So we are into Shivam, and still, so this is previous thing, still he can see he's having write access and read access. You observe here, guys, there is no option to. So I'll go back. I'll go test. So cohort. So u underscore test test cohort dot list. So if any user is not having the complete access of the table, we have to use his backend name to see whether he is having the access or not. Okay, so I'm clicking enter. So this is the list view. Still he is having the access to, shit. Still he is having access to write and read. He is not having the access to create. You see new button here? No, that means he is not having the access to create. So we just created two ACLs. One is to read, one is to write. So now what we do, we'll end impersonation. So we create one more ACL. We go to history. So a access control list. Let's go here. Control. Sorry. So we don't want this. Directly we go with ACL. ACL. Yeah. So now we give access to create now. Okay. We are clicking on new. So first we give read access, then write access. So our type record and operation create. Okay, allow if decision type, allow if. Okay, on which table u underscore cohort, u underscore test cohort. So this is our table, and I'm giving full access. Table dot none means full access of the table. Okay, and which role I'm giving is test role. So we just give test. So already the Shivam is having the role test. So who is having with test role will have the access to create. So save, and I'm submitting. Continue. So okay, so we just created three roles. One is read with the test test role, and one is write with the test role. One is create with test role. So these two having the both roles, and this is having test role. The name is test role. Okay, we can give it the same name, but I just want to explain you something. So I gave this two with same role and this with some other role. We can give same name. If all three having the same role name, that means if he's having only one role, then he will get full access. So you check here, Shivam is having test role is having read access, and test now for this role it is having write access and create access. So we go home, not home. So we just end impersonation. We just impersonate Shivam Gupta, impersonate user,
And now we are going to the test cohort table. This is the table, right? We are into Shivam Gupta now. Let's reload it. So now you see here, the new option is here. So, and now he can do any changes. So he is already there. Reload. So we can do in from male to female to male, and I'm saving, updating it, saving it. So save. So it got changed. Test cohort. So so Jewel Augusta, the male is, but now we change to male. See male. So now this user is having read access, write access, create access. So do you see any delete access here? So I'm selecting this. You see delete button is hidden. So you can see that, but he is not having the access. So why? Because we haven't gave that delete access. So you all understand what is read access, what is write access, what is create access, and what is delete access. So let's go. Let's give the delete access as well. Let's check. So I want everything to be in an impersonation. Okay, let's go to ACL. ACL. Yeah. And let's create a new one. So this time we are doing delete. Yeah, delete. So we are for on all the table. So what is the table name? U underscore test cohort dot none. We are giving none access. That means complete access. Okay. And what is the role we are giving is test. Okay, fine. Test is fine. And we are selecting it and I'm submitting it. Okay, continue. So one more role is created. What is one more ACL is created? What is delete? So let's check what is the role. Test role is having read access and test is having create, write, and delete. Okay, now he is having 4 roles. So now he can see all the options. Let's impersonate Shivam. Impersonate. Okay, now we are into Shivam. Let's go. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, not this. Joel. So yeah, this is our table, right? So now let's reload it. Now you see we can't see delete. Oh, so now so it was updated. Now you can see delete here. See here, and if we go inside, just reload it. See delete option. So yeah, now you understand what is read, what is write, what is delete. Create. I want your response, guys. Yes. Only Abhay is responding. What about others? Hi guys, following me? So only one is from Abhay. What about the rest? Did you got or not? If not, I'll explain you again. So I want your response. Sir, can we log in with person account whom we are impersonating in another browser to do this? Yeah, you can do that. Okay. Yeah, you can do that. So for checking, that is how in regularly it happens. But for the testing purpose, we have an option called impersonation. That's it. Okay. So and the rest, what about rest? Take 5 minutes break. Yeah, that is fine. Okay, Abhay. Okay, I'm taking 5 minutes break. So you guys relax. We'll be back in 5 minutes. It's 15:04. So I'll be back by 7:40.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
So guys, if you got any queries, just mention here before I start the class again. Yes, you all back. Should I start the class? Yes? No? Guys, am I audible? Could you confirm me? Yes. All right. Okay, Abhay. Yeah, where we are now, we just created 4 ACLs and we checked with where it's working fantastically correct, right? So now what I do is let's go. We are in SG and you see here he's having all the access, delete, update, and coming to the rest, you can see here new option. Click on new. So the form is loading. So he can create the form too. Yes. So what we do, let's go. Let's impersonate. So and I'm going to Shivam. Okay, we are in Shivam user table Shivam. So I'm taking the role of test role. Test role is having read access, right? And test is having write, create, and delete. Right? Am I right? So I want your responses, guys, because if you respond, you will come to know something new. If you are not responding, like that means my yes, okay, fine. So so this test is having 3 roles, and this test role is having one. Sorry, this is having 3 ACLs, and this is one read ACL. So what I'm doing is I am deleting. I'm taking this test role, taking out this test role for Shivam. Okay, I'm saving it. So now what Shivam is having only test role. That means for the test, it is having write access, create access, and delete access. Am I right? So I want your responses, guys. Yes. So now what Shivam can do? He can write, update, sorry, create, and delete instead of reading. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm impersonating Shivam. Okay, going to Shivam Gupta, impersonate user. And I'm going to our table. This is Jewel. So now this Shivam Gupta is the user. So I'm just reloading it. Okay. So what has happened? So he's having write access. He's having create access. He's having delete access. So what happened? Security constraints prevent access to requested page. So do you guys have any answer from your side? What happened? No read access. Yes. But he is having rest of the access, right? He's having write access, he's having create access, he's having delete access. So we have to, if we can't read, at least we have to write and something we have to create new something. For the old one, we don't have the read access, but we have to create something new, right? What happened? Why? So any other guys have any answers from your side? Yeah. Sarang said no read access. Yeah, we do. He's not having any read access. So he's not having the read access. That means he's not having the access to create, to write, to delete, to create. Yes. Can anyone have any answer? Should I go? All right, that's fine. Okay. So if a user, if any table is not having the read access, okay, So if a user is not having the read access, even though he is having all the rest of the access, okay, that means it is restricting, he can't do any performances on the table. You know, if you are not having the key to enter into the house, okay, then how could he go to the this bedroom, kitchen and other things? So if we want to do anything on the table, firstly he should have the read access. Okay. So so read access is mandatory to do any performances on the table. Keep this in mind. Without having read access, even you are having write, update, create, delete, whatever you are having, it is not going to perform. It is not going to do any changes. Sorry guys, give me a second. Am I audible, guys? Yes. Okay, fine. So if a user is not having the read access for the table, that means he is not going to perform anything, whether he is having all the rest of the access. So now what we do, let's create one more read access. Okay, I am ending impersonation. I'm going to system admin back. So, so we checked with the all record level, complete table level. None means he's getting all the access. Now let's go with field level. Let's give access, read access with one field. What is happening? Let's check. So ACL, yeah, going inside. Yeah. So I'm going to create field level access. Okay. Star means it's restrict complete row access, complete fields in the table. But I just want to go with a single field now. So I'm just clicking new. You, you observe we can restrict this in three ways: complete table level and fields level and a single field level. So if you are giving the access with none, table dot none, that means you are restricting, you are giving permission to the whole table, so you can see what are the information in the table. If you are giving access star, if he is giving table dot star, means it is restricting complete field level. All the fields in the table in, are coming into table dot star. So for single field we'll go like, you know, we'll select table. So we are, so type is record, so we are creating read access for single thing. Shit. So I'm going with, so I'll explain you read as well now. So firstly we'll go with field type, field level. Okay, what is the table name? Yeah, u underscore, sorry guys, test cohort. And so we are going with only gender. So table dot gender. That means we are giving read access for one only field. Only one field we are giving. So I'm just clicking here. Yeah. And what is the role giving? So he is right now, the Shubham is having test role. So I'm just giving test. Okay. Test, select. And so he is getting, having an option test cohort on gender. Only he is having read access to gender field. Only gender field he is having read access. Huh? Yes. So I'm just submitting it. So now we're creating field level. Okay. Field level ACL I'm just creating. For gender field, I'm giving read access. For Shivam is having test role. So test role is now having write access for the table, create access, delete access, and he's also having read access for gender field. Yes. So just impersonate Shivam. So Shivam, impersonate user, and now we go to the this table. Yeah, let's reload this. What is happening? What is happening? He's restricted. See, he's restricted. So just type u u underscore test cohort dot list list. So if he's having only one level, field level, that is not even accepted. You should have complete read access on the table. Then he can create field level access. Yeah, you understand, guys? We just gave read access for the table, right? But read access for one field. So if he is not having access for the whole field, that means he is not going to get any access. Now let's give Shivam the full access. End impersonation. And let's go to Shivam. And what is the role? Read access role. Test role. Test role. And let's save this. And let's impersonate Shivam. And let's check. Where is the cohort table? Services. Let's reload this. You see, now he's getting all the access. And even though if he's having table level field access or not, he can access the gender. So what we did, allow if he's having the role. So let's check deny access. Let's check that what is happening. For the same thing, we did something. We gave the role, test role, and deny the field. Let's impersonate, and let's go to the ACL we created history. What is the ACL? Access controls. Just open in the new tab. Yes. So test cohort u underscore gender. Allow if decision type is allow if. Let's change the decision type. Deny unless. Otherwise, let's check what is happening. Okay. So I want you to learn your side. So let's check what is happening. So we updated it, and let's go back. Impersonate user Shivam Gupta. Impersonate user, and let's go to the table and let's reload. Any changes happen? So not this table. So where is so let's check test. Sorry, u underscore test cohort dot list. Test explorer unidentified. Yes. Is anything changing? So what is happening is, like, whoever is having that role, he can perform that. Okay. But who is not having that role? Let's see. So we just created table level, right? So what I'm doing is sg and impersonation. So I'm going to the users table now. See, sys underscore user underscore, sorry, user, that's it, user dot list. Yeah. So now what I'm doing is, like, I'm giving full access this King Kong. I don't know who's this King Kong. Let's go here. Does he having any role? No, he's not having any role. And see now edit, and I am giving him the all access of the table u underscore test cohort user. This is the role created for the table. When the table is created, if the user is having this role, that means he is having the access for the entire table. Yes. Yes or not? Yes. All right. So where is this user? Yeah. And I'm saving it. Yeah. Now what I'm doing is I'm impersonating. I'm going to this table, impersonate. So instead of, I'm going to King Kong. King King Kong. I'm impersonating King Kong. King Kong is having the full access of the table, right? Field level access. Field level, row level, every access. He's completely having the 4 ACLs. So that means he can perform what are the operations he want. So just select here. And now test cohort. Yes. Yes. Do you see the gender here? I'm opening a new form here. Do you see the gender? How field level is restricting. That is how field level. Like, if only the user is having test test role, can do the performance on the gender field. So that is field level. Now you understand how field level restrictions in ACL. You guys understand? So let me give more example. No worries. So now he can't see. This is King Kong. You see, he is King Kong and he is having complete table access. I just gave the role created when the table is created, but still he is he is restricting with the gender because we just created an ACL for the table field level. So table dot field, and if he is having test role, that means he will get the access. Now let's impersonate. Sorry. So here we have, let's duplicate this. I'm just duplicating this because for the next time reloading directly. So let's duplicate that, and I'm ending impersonation and impersonate. Yeah. And I'm ending impersonation. And where is King Kong? Sorry, Shivam. New. Oh, here is King Kong, right? So I'm just giving him the role test now. So test is having the field level, right? Test. Test is having the read access. Sorry, not test role. Yeah, test role is having uh, no, test is having the field level access. Gender field is having the test field level access. So for the test role, it is only having the read access, but test is having write, create, delete, and field for gender field as well. So save it. Yes, it's saved. 11. Guys. Yes. Now you observe King Kong is having test. This test is having field level field for gender field, write, create, and delete. So now King Kong is having this role. So let's go back and impersonate King Kong. So King Kong, impersonate. And before in this, we can't see gender, but now it is updated. Fine. Shit. Where is new? New here. So I'm just reloading. We are in King Kong, and now he is all not there. Now I'm just reloading it. You see now gender. How the field level work. Whoever is having that role, then they can see the fields. Whoever is not having that role can't see the fields. That is how field level. So now you understand what is completely with the table level. Table dot none. Table dot star means all the fields in the table. Table dot star includes all the fields. If I give table dot star role and test, that means the complete restriction will be blocked. Okay. And table dot field means single field. So ACL performance now. So you guys all understand how table dot field level is working? I want your response, guys. Yes. Are you there? You understand how the ACLs are working? Are you guys can hear me? Okay, sure. That's great. Yeah. So how ACLs are performing? What is ACL? Yeah. What is ACL? So these are CRUD operations. ACLs is nothing but CRUD operations. Create, read, write, delete. So on a table level, so if the person have full access of the table, then also if the deny if role is not given to him, then he can't see. Yes, he can't see. So even though he is having full access, and if a tab in a ACL is created, so that is how we restrict. Now so in an organization, what happens? You and your friend are like both are in an organization. Okay, your friend is senior level and you are junior level. Okay, so what senior is seeing, what senior can do, is the junior can't do. And to restrict their levels, the access is denied. He can see anything, but if we want something to take out from that, this field level comes into action. Yes. So that is how it happened. Now the gender is like field level. The field level is having test role. If a person is having full access of the table and he is not having the test role, that means he can't do any changes. He can't update that field. He can't do any actions in the field. That field is not visible. So there comes the star. Star in the sense complete all fields. He can see the data, but he can't do anything. Star means if only the person is having that star role can do the performances on the, yeah, something. Raise hand. Who's that? Anuradha Tiwari. Yeah, Anuradha, you got any queries? You can mention in the chat, or do you want to talk something? I'll give that. Yeah, Anuradha, do you have any queries? Just mention in the chat. So that is how it happens. So you follow if no queries. Yeah, that is fantastic, right? So table dot none means you'll get all the access. Table dot star means complete fields. Table dot field level means that single particular field. Okay, in these three levels we can perform ACLs. Okay, yes. I hope you all enjoyed this session. So that is the reason ACL is one of the important topic. If you guys won't practice on this, you won't understand. And I'm clearly telling you, if you don't practice, you don't understand how ACLs are performing. Okay. Sometimes I even like, if you are beginner, you'll definitely confuse. If you are still 6 months trained in service now, still you'll get confused. So practice is important. If you practice more, then you'll understand more. So if you are getting any admin kind of jobs, so this, if you are not good at ACLs, that means you are like nothing. So you need complete understanding how table dot star is working, how table dot field level is working, how table dot none is working. So you have to understand this. Okay, so you, if you have any queries, you just note down them and you can ask me on when is your next session. It's it's Wednesday. So you on Friday you're going to have the next section again. So tomorrow you practice in this time, and the next day I'm gonna join 15 minutes earlier. And if you have any queries, or even though not, you have a AMA session on Saturday, so we can discuss there as well. So okay, but make sure guys you discuss. So you practice and you come back to the class so that it will be easy for you. And we are done with ACL's topic now. Okay, just practice. If you got any queries in star or field level or none level or whatever it is, then it's done. ACLs. Okay, so we are done with ACLs topic, and next topic we're going to discuss is update set. Okay, I'll explain you in one of the session the theoretical things, everything. I'll get back and I'll start explaining each and everything. But I want you to be more practical instead of theory. Theory anyone can do. You can get by clicking on ChatGPT. What is ACL? It gives some information data. You go Copilot. You go Google. You can search. And in the best book for ServiceNow is ServiceNow University Library. Okay, in that, so if you are not finishing the ServiceNow administration fundamentals on demand, you are not eligible to write the exam even though you have assigned with the CSA voucher. Okay, so start working on that module. I'll explain you in the same way. So that's all for today guys. I hope you enjoyed, all of you enjoyed the session. Yes, good night. See you on Friday. Bye bye. So just work on it and come with some queries, guys, so that I'll get more interest. Okay, these people are showing more interest, and it will be more interesting. More. If you dig, if you are digging, then it will form a well, and that well means a lot of knowledge. If you're digging upwards, you can't get water. Water in the sense an opportunity. Okay, so hope you all guys enjoyed. Have a great day. See you. Bye bye. So Shivam is typing something. Okay, bye, sir. Great. Okay, bye. Someone is typing. See you guys. Good night. Sorry, Shivam, you have a query? Okay, I'm here. You can ask me. So I like this kind of queries. So what is your query, Shivam? Actually, this is my first day, sir. Okay, no need to worry about this, Shivam. You will get the recordings in the further days, okay, of the previous sessions. No need to worry. You are aware with this ACLs topic, right? You understand what is ACL, how ACLs are performing. Okay. So if you understand, this is one of the important, before you're like, creating users, creating everything, that is fine. I can still, when I'm explaining the ebook, I can retrieve back all the topics. Okay, don't need to worry. Okay. So we'll upload the recordings as well. In the meantime, start working, go to the Now Learning platform and start system administration fundamentals on demand course. Okay, so that you will understand everything. So if you have any queries, then we'll discuss in the AMA period, like, on Saturday. Okay. Okay, Shivam, that's okay. Great. See you later. Bye bye.